Hi, my name is Lisa Hansen, and I'm presenting to you my Master's in the Art of Teaching professional portfolio. One of the things that I was most proud of that I accomplished through Mary Gro's program was writing my collaborative action research paper for Class 690. And one of the things that I liked most about this is that it really helped me to understand where my kids are coming from with their writing problems and how to better attack those and produce good results. One of the things that I found when I was doing my research that I focused on was writing skills and why writing skills have seemed to go on down in the gutter, and what we can do to help increase those, and how I can bring those strategies to my colleagues and have them help as well. So I chose 2 strategies with that, which we found in my abstract. And the 2 strategies that I chose to use were daily, what we call mugshots, which mugshot stands for mechanics, usage, and grammar. And every day the kids had a mugshot that was placed on the board, and they had to correct the grammar in that sentence. Another one that I used, another strategy that I used, was having them actually read aloud their responses that they were giving. So often we do journals at the beginning of every class, and when I ask the kids to respond to those journals, they will look up and they will give me their response. So what we were trying to do is encourage the students to read directly from their paper and read that written response. What we did was, in the beginning, and I keep saying we because I really used my colleagues a lot in this. It was a collaborative research project, and so I really tried to get a lot of help from my colleagues that were in the program with me to help come up with good strategies and how to actually test these strategies and get some research and some raw data that I could actually do something with. So one of the strategies that you can see here is those mugshots that I was telling you about. And I tested them in the beginning. I gave them a pre-test and gave them a couple examples and asked them to correct those. And the responses are here, which show that in the very beginning, the students were missing a lot of the errors. They were not catching a lot of the things. And as you can see, as the weeks progressed, they caught more and more of the errors. Now, I didn't change my teaching style necessarily. A lot of this was previous knowledge that they should have had by now. They were 8th grade students. But this daily repetition of grammar and usage and mechanics really helped them to solidify in their brain the errors. I think a lot of times language is intuitive, and they understand, because they're native English speakers where I was, what is correct and what is incorrect. However, they just seem to overlook a lot of the problems. So once they were, their eyes were trained. Once their eyes were trained to look for those problems, then they got a lot better. Now, what I found in my research was not only did those daily mugshots help them to do those sentences, but also it translated over into their writing. All of a sudden, writing got better. They had a well-trained eye. I noticed that my writing has gotten better since I've been an English teacher and since I am constantly editing the work that they do. I made them editors. They became trained and their regular work increased substantially. And I have some figures here that show that the average paper grade went from being about a 76% up into an 86%, which was a huge increase for my students. Aside from the collaborative action research, I learned so many other things that really helped me in my classroom. And, you know, I will admit that going into 660, which is the parents on your side, I had thought that I did enough with parents and incorporating them into my classroom. But I had no idea the abundance of things that I could be doing to bring them more into my classroom. So I want to show you one of the things that I came up with, and that is a behavior plan. And a behavior plan is what you can use for students when they are You can use it for students when you are having a problem with their discipline and your management. And this behavior plan I specifically liked because it had the parents and the teachers working together. Another couple of things that I really liked were the tiered lessons that we could do. Tiered lessons work to keep all students challenged and keep my expectations high. This was a tiered lesson that I did with Shakespeare, which uses different levels of proficiency and has students challenging themselves and choosing what correct level they want to be at. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out to you was the bridge and the kindling approach, which dealt with using anticipatory sets to get kids excited and motivated to learn. And a specific one that I really liked that I used was I put a picture up, and this talks about they have to identify what the picture is ahead of time, and then we panned away and they used their words and their active adjectives to talk about that, and then they were really excited to find out what that picture actually was. So just an example of something that you could get that could pique their interest. There are an abundance of strategies that I learned and effective tools that I learned. Just to name a few, besides tiered learning, I learned about different types of learners, different types of learning styles. I also learned about how to teach writing better in my, and that writing should be in every subject area, and that I'm not the only one that should be in charge of that. Classroom management, I feel like greatly increased. Pink slips for homework that is missing is another great strategy. So I have all of my goodies here, which I can always bring with me wherever I go. And these strategies will help me throughout my teaching career. Somebody told me once that you're a teacher, you have a tool, you have tools, you need to be able to show those and show what they are. So if anybody ever asks me what my good teaching tools are, I now have those. So thank you very much, Mary Grove, and this is my Master's in Educational Portfolio.